Hey, I'm back, and I'm going to play The Enchanted Forest by Michael63. And I've got Dark Pulse and Man with Gun with me. And yeah, this is a Russian Doom community project, or initially made for that. The
Oh,
thread,
well, we've got just the person to talk about that then.
yeah, we've got the
Yep.
inside scoop.
Not really inside scoop, just because I never actually participate in any project of his. Well, most familiar project he was a lead behind is 30 Years with Doom, which is a a project made in Doom Power, Russian Doom Forum, also known as RDC, of course. Uh, I mean, it's been a while since there was any like community project. The last one was Bloodspeed, and pretty much the beta was released in 2018 until the resource was compiled finally in 2020, I think. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, and of course, there's been a while. There's not a ton of Russian community projects like lately. Was quite a you know was quite a thing then in 2023. Michael decided to, I think not, firstly not him, I think, who started actually doing, um, a compilation of speed maps and other lots that people willing to create for that project. Um, well, as any Russian community projects, it's mostly a speed mapping project made of several speed maps that was, you know, uh, people just decided to compile into one wad just because it's otherwise it's going to be forgotten because it's only on Russian forums and nobody really could see that unless someone actually make a compilation of those
Uh,
maps.
hmm.
Yeah, and uh, yeah, he's the guy behind 30 Years of Doom. I think firstly it was led by someone else. I think Shadow Man. Uh, yeah,
What?
That's the thing about this map. What just happened? You get across the borders of this map. Yeah, this map have borders, and it's like letting the leaves on fire. And if you across this mid texture, you're gonna insta killed.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, you're gonna get insta killed. It's really weird and kind of random, but that's the thing. That's the gimmick, I guess.
Well, I'll be honest, I actually don't like Grove very much, but so far I like this more than Grove, so that's good.
Yeah. Uh, as far as auto map, it will be readable, and the map itself is going to be readable fairly. Um, but either way, so Michael compiled most of the maps, and the thing about, well, besides he's being the lead of, you know, not a common thing in the Russian Doom community because, I mean, as I said last time, it was Bloodspeed, which is what was 2018 project. So it's been roughly like 5 years since anyone actually created Russian Doom community project. So you know, maybe props to that because you know
Yeah.
at
That's
least
that's kind
someone
of
actually did
surprising.
it. Yeah,
That's kind of surprising because I was under the impression that the Russian Doom community was pretty strong.
yeah, it is pretty strong, but there's not a lot of good leaders there that could really like lead to the full megawatt and just a set of maps really. Because for a weird reason, not a lot of people willing to do that.
So basically, a lot of talent, but not a lot of management. Is that kind of what you're getting at?
Yeah, I would say for that. I mean, recently we had drawn that. I know we with Lab actually have spoken a few times about this individual that actually led several events, which is random Russian speed mapping sessions. He made three of those events. Um, And the third is pretty much his magnum opus because he also made a launcher for it. So you're not actually manually, you know, scroll through all like text files and looking. It's okay. This is GZDO map. This is ZDO map. This is Boom. This is Vanilla. No, the launcher automatically like selecting the preferred port you need to
Oh.
use. So it's really handy. Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
He spent yeah, he spent quite a lot of time to actually optimize it, and it's one of the biggest like variety map sets I've pretty much ever seen.
There's your
Because
arrow.
you everything for someone, for GZ
Yeah.
Doom players, for Z Doom players, for Boom, MBF, and even Vanilla. There's a couple of Vanilla maps as well.
I remember
Um,
somebody saying that like Z Doom, since it's basically static now and has been for years, should be like its own comp level thing. And there was other people who were like, no, that's kind of not the point of comp levels.
oh yeah, speaking of this map, by the way, this map should be some kind of park, like a nation park, park or
Oh yeah.
something. Yeah, and you see there's two lovers, of course, like in the greatest films,
Oh, I see.
behind the sunset, they're about to kiss. Watch it. I think you actually can punch him there. Yeah. Oh, you're a ghost.
And now you're a zombie state.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway.
Ugh.
Oh, there's
Okay.
the fire. There's fire.
So yeah, you don't go behind it. You're gonna be insta killed as soon as you cross that nation
Yeah.
marker. It randomly pops up like in the, I don't know, like maybe 5 foot away, and it's just, I don't know. It's really random, but it is a thing. Uh, but either way, well, despite the fact that he's actually one of the few people who actually decided to, like, uh, you know, create this community project and actually organize it and such, there's actually been quite a few moments. But let's say even a few. There's been almost like a slight drama behind the project he actually led. There's a thing he actually like didn't really know how to lead projects without personal bias. It's kind of like, I think it's bad, so you have to fix it. I can pretty much describe it like this. So he even manually like changed the maps without even like
Oh.
get
Yeah,
getting
that's
getting with like mappers' attention. It's kind of like, I'm gonna fix it and you will not know about it until you're actually gonna see that in a compilation.
yeah,
And
that can be a
that's the one
huge
thing when
no-no.
you actually like asking for a mapper to fix his own stuff. Like, I'm gonna give you a feedback. I'm not, gonna give you this, this, and this. That should be fixed, and you will fix it. And it's kind of like, hey, well, yeah, no problem. I'm gonna fix it, as you said. But he actually himself just changed the maps and in his own preferences, and
Yeah, and might have changed
it's
it in
kind of,
ways the original mapper wouldn't have agreed with, and they're basically just gonna be like, well, fuck that.
yeah, it's there's been quite a few things like this in this project. Not in this one particularly, but in other one he's really like proud of because he led this one. I mean, 30 years of Doom. It's one of the few things that actually people don't really appreciate this guy being the leader of the community projects, like Russian Doom community projects.
I mean, I can understand if that's, part of
Yeah,
the
there's
reason
quite a
behind it.
frustration. It's kind of like you actually trying to fight again against the guy who actually kind of knows how to do like community leading stuff, but he also have personal preferences and would like to actually change them manually without
Yeah,
even asking. It's, dude, I mean, you don't.
Like if it's
You're
it's a
not actually
community
a dick,
project,
but
it's not
it's not.
supposed to be a map for me project.
Yeah,
I'm not
it's.
asking you to do 32 maps to my specifications unless, I list those specifications up front.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go in depth about all this, all the things that actually happened with 30 years of Doom project.
Yeah.
Um, because it made for an anniversary, it was pushed as fast as possible. There's been a lot of things that should be fixed, but didn't was not fixed until much later. Um, yeah, and let's just say there was been quite a few misunderstandings in this project, and with Michael as well. But with this project, he actually wanted to create as well for the anniversary for Doom 2, because the previous project was for anniversary of Doom 1,
Hmm.
which is like December
December
1993.
9th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
December 10th, 93, if memory serves.
yep. Um, so he also wanted to create a RDCP 2024, which should be a celebration of Doom 2. Uh, but eventually, people already had quite an experience with this leader, so not a lot of people actually participated,
Yeah.
and there still been a same problems that was in the previous community projects with him being actually fixing stuff without mapper's permission and you know
And so that's basically why
such
it fell
things.
apart.
Yeah, but
Uh, bad
was
save.
my personal problems because I didn't interact with Michael until recently because
What the
I
fucking
mean he
fuck?
knew about. Yeah, this map is quite open, and the Archviles and the Revenants are really gonna be a pain in your existence here. I'm gonna say that for sure. Not a lot of
Yeah,
columns in this level,
this
I would
is
say.
starting to remind me of Grove.
Not in a pleasant way.
Yeah.
uh, Damn.
I mean, it looks
I mean,
great, but
it's pretty. It's pretty actually. I would not say it's poorly
Oh, it's
designed.
very pretty.
Yeah.
Like, it's
M-
actually not cold
Good
enough
choice of
here
music
yet
though.
for
Yeah.
the leaves to be changing, but that'll be happening within a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Well, getting back to the point,
motherfucker.
I interacted with Michael only because of one thing. He actually uh like took my speed map without even asking, and not even like DM me like, hey dude, really like your level, so I would like to get this in my future community project and such. So he just kind of silently made a post on Doom Power, and I saw my map there. It's kind of like uh first like uh first like slide first slide episode like of this project pretty much, or the CP 2024. So so he just took my map without even asking and without even like notificating about this, and I was kind of like I was not shocked because I already heard quite a few things about this guy, but since he actually took my map and I saw that, I was kind of like, okay, dude, you pretty much crossed the line here. I would not allow to some not well organized community project to actually ruin my quote unquote reputation, even though I'm not actually that picky, you know,
Yeah.
because I don't really want to. Yeah, that's a puzzle here.
Yeah, I
I don't
don't
really
really.
want to get my map in some project that I already heard quite a few things about, you know. And even though it's quite rude to actually not even asking me about,
Right.
maybe I don't want to actually get that map in my project. Just because, well, he pointed out when I answered in that post that I want immediately this map being removed, otherwise, you're gonna be dealing with administrators, you know, because I will not allow you to actually, the fact that my stuff is public is not meaning that you can easily just pick and choose
Take it
whatever you
and
want.
use it, right.
Yeah, it's not your property, sort of, just because you found it's in public. And he said, no, it's you misunderstood that. It's like it just like a example of the first project. I didn't include it. Yeah, well, duh. You still made a map set and ask like what people think about it. So you already took my level and made and included in the fucking first episode. How the fuck otherwise I'm gonna think what's actually what is this actually? Like you already took my level. If you said, hey, I would like to see this mapper on this map slot, and didn't make a compilation already, that would be completely different story. But he already made a compilation and trying to defend himself by saying like, "Hey, it's just an example, first episode. I didn't actually took your level. Don't think me I'm a thief or some shit." It's kind of like, no, dude, you already made a compilation, dude. It's
Right.
you're not gonna fool anyone here. Especially you already pissed a lot of people who actually participated in your project. So a bunch of people actually jumped on the thread and just start pushing him because yeah, dude, you're not gonna get away with this that easily.
That kind of
And
reminds me
mm,
of how chillax came out to be, if you're familiar with that.
no, I don't know the backstory behind it.
Well, basically, it's full of like it was basically like some speed maps and some other various maps that were already out there. Um, Taken from, I'm not sure if it's pronounced Fiml, PHML, something like that.
Yeah.
But there were basically a lot of them were his maps from the Fiml Speed, um, Macabre 3, and basically all the anonymous author did was add a whole bunch of extra monsters to them. So when word got back to Fiml, he basically said he wasn't opposed to his maps being copied because he gave permission to reuse and remodify them in the text files. He was upset at the title because it implied that this modified set was condoned by him.
Mhm.
So the Megawad in the next release actually got retitled to Chillax, and that's the name that it's basically stuck under ever since.
Yeah, it's quite similar. Yeah, I mean, and first of all, for anyone watching this video, and maybe Michael who is actually gonna watch it, because I think Lamp actually gonna bump this thread with this video. I don't think
Oh yeah.
you're actually like a bad person, but I mean, the fact that you actually didn't even like just DM'd me and didn't even like had a feeling of actually feeling guilty with
I
actually
mean,
picking people's maps without their permission,
to play
it's
devil's
creating
advocate,
bad habits. You know what I mean?
to
Like
play
you,
devil's advocate here for a second, was he aware that you were on these boards?
he was aware,
So
and
then,
he
yeah,
was for
yeah.
the context. By the way, I don't want like completely shame this guy. I think he's a fine guy. He just just had a little like problems with understanding how community projects should actually be lead. So he had some quite problems with talking with other people who actually came from good community projects, actually led some good community projects. Like for example, John, he actually had some good misunderstanding with this guy. I know that for sure. Um, But yeah, I mean, for the context, he actually asked in the thread where that map he wanted to took, well, my map from the speed mapping thing. He actually asked in the thread like, will mappers actually willing to, give those levels to the this project or this
I mean,
CP
yeah,
2024? But he only asked, and I didn't reply. So it basically means I didn't give a permission.
right.
The fact
I
that I
mean,
didn't answer just because, I mean,
if the text
yeah,
file does not say that specifically, and you track down the author and either they don't reply or you can't, or they obviously turn it down objectively, then that means, yeah, it's not allowed. It's not, permission is given. It's different if they say, you have permission to modify, and redo this level or use it as a base or whatever. If that's the case and you see that in the text file, everything is fair game. If you want to do it with those sorts of levels, you absolutely can. Otherwise, permission is one of those things that's super, super important. And, sometimes it's a shame if you're like, this level's really good, but, nobody can get in touch with the author anymore or whatever. But, you got to respect that in a sense.
you like that hard on a wood there.
Yeah, that was nice. I thought it was going to be a secret, but
That would have been a
I
good
also thought it was
secret.
gonna be a secret. Yeah.
or knowing what this map has been like is going to be fucking progression.
Oh shit.
I just fucked
Not a
myself.
wood at all.
Yeah,
Oh
with that save.
no.
Oh my god. I don't think I'm going to finish this map though, truthfully. Even with that set.
A
It's a
friend of
good
mine
art
and Doomer
piece. It's a
actually
little bit
finished
harder
that
to
one.
play as a level, I would say.
Yeah, like I never
Yeah.
finished Grove. I don't think I'm going to
Visually, it's pleasing, but it's really hard to actually track what you need to do in this
Progress,
level. I would
yeah.
say. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this
Not to
might
say it's bad, because there is a space for those sorts of levels where you kind of got to explore and hunt.
yeah, just definitely not
I'm
for me. This is too much on the yeah.
Plus it's like, almost midnight for Lamp. I think like 11 o'clock for you, isn't it?
It's yeah, a little after midnight actually.
Oh, so then yeah. Here it's 2 in the morning, so yeah, we're doing this late, folks.
Oh fuck. Yeah.
Not late for me. It's morning right now.
Well, yeah, but you're halfway around the world from us, so.
Yeah. I mean, not insane difference. I would say.
Okay, well,
So how's that level though, Lamp?
I'm gonna pack it in. I think. I think I'm done here.
Didn't enjoy that well, yeah.
Well, I mean, it looks really nice, and
It is pretty.
I
It is
managed
very pretty.
to kill things, but like, it's. I mean, to have a map that big and that open, and the arrows point to something that I can't interact with, it's just kind of. I don't know. It's sort of like a fuck you, but I get that it's inspired. I don't know. There's a market for people that like that kind of stuff. I'm just not one of them.
So, long story short, that actually was stretching to the insane degree while actually watching the lamp playing this map. I think with my reply on under that stolen map of mine, and I thankfully regained it. I think I ruined this project to the good. So it's not gonna be finished, at least soon enough, because there's no maps to actually fill to the megawatt. So, yep, this project is ruined.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, and with
Not
that,
intentionally though.
see you later, folks.